Did The Simpsons predicted the fire in Los Angeles? Welcome to the most amazing channel, where we uncover the strange, fascinating, and unbelievable. Today, we'll explore a claim that has left fans of The Simpsons buzzing. Did this iconic show predict the devastating fires in Los Angeles? Known for its uncanny predictions of real-world events, like Donald Trump's presidency and smartwatches, The Simpsons has sparked yet another debate. Viral images and episode references have fueled this theory, but is there any truth behind it? Or is it just another case of fans drawing wild conclusions? Stay tuned as we break down the facts and uncover the reality behind this intriguing claim. The origin of the claim. The claim that The Simpsons predicted the Los Angeles fires gained traction online, fueled by a combination of viral memes, social media posts, and certain episodes of the show. This particular theory centers around the idea that the show's writers had foreseen the devastation caused by the real-life wildfires that ravaged California, including Los Angeles. But where did this theory come from? One of the key moments fueling this claim is the Simpsons episode titled Little Big Girl, Season 18, Episode 12. In this episode, a fire starts on a farm and spreads, causing chaos. Although the episode doesn't directly depict a fire in Los Angeles, fans have connected the dots, imagining that the show had predicted the scale of wildfires in California. The idea was further amplified by the internet, where various memes and posts began circulating, comparing scenes from this episode to the ongoing fires in California. Additionally, a number of AI-generated images began appearing online, purportedly showing scenes of the Simpsons characters amidst a burning Los Angeles with the Hollywood sign in the background. These images quickly went viral, adding fuel to the fire, pun intended, of the prediction theory. However, upon closer inspection, it became clear that these images were not actually from The Simpsons, but were computer-generated fabrications, further muddying the waters of this claim. Fans of the show have long been obsessed with connecting its fictional world to real-world events. But this particular fire prediction is mostly a product of internet speculation, with little to no concrete backing. While it's easy to draw connections between a show that often satirizes modern events and the real-world disasters we witness, the idea of a prediction here is more about coincidence and the way the internet distorts facts. Breaking down the prediction. When analyzing the claim that The Simpsons predicted the Los Angeles fires, it's important to examine the actual content of the episodes that are being referenced. While fans have pointed to specific moments from The Simpsons, there are several key factors that undermine the idea that the show specifically predicted these real-world events. One of the main episodes linked to the fire prediction is Little Big Girl, Season 18, Episode 12. In this episode, a fire starts on a farm and spreads across the fictional town of Springfield. The connection made by fans is primarily based on the fire itself, with many interpreting it as a foreshadowing of wildfires in California. However, there is no mention of Los Angeles or any direct reference to the real-life fires that have plagued the region. The fire depicted in the episode is part of a storyline that revolves around the usual absurdity and satire that The Simpsons is known for. It's a typical exaggerated event meant for comedic effect, not a prophecy about natural disasters in a specific city. Additionally, many of the viral images shared on social media, which claim to show The Simpsons characters in front of a burning Los Angeles, are not even scenes from the show. These images are AI-generated and lack the distinct animation style of The Simpsons. They often show inconsistencies, such as blurred characters or poorly rendered backgrounds, which are clear indicators that they are not original content from the show. In fact, The Simpsons has long been known for its satirical approach to global events and political situations. The show often uses broad, exaggerated depictions of real-world issues, including fires and natural disasters. However, these events are not presented as predictions, but as part of the show's ongoing commentary on modern society. When considering these factors, it becomes clear that the fire prediction theory is based more on speculation and coincidence than any intentional foresight by the writers of The Simpsons. While the show's ability to mirror real-life events is impressive, it's important to distinguish between satire and actual prophecy. The psychology of predictions. The phenomenon of The Simpsons Predicting future events taps into deeper psychological tendencies that make us more inclined to believe in such claims, even when the evidence may not support them. To understand why people find it so easy to draw these connections, we need to look at how our brains process patterns and search for meaning, especially when it comes to pop culture. One key psychological concept at play here is confirmation bias, the tendency to search for, interpret, or remember information in a way that confirms our pre-existing beliefs or assumptions. In the case of The Simpsons and its supposed predictions, once a few parallels between the show and real-life events are identified, fans and viewers tend to amplify and focus on these similarities, disregarding any discrepancies. For example, if a Simpsons episode features a fire or a political scandal, fans are more likely to notice those instances and associate them with similar real-world events, even when the connection is weak or coincidental. This confirmation bias leads people to believe that the show has a supernatural ability to foresee the future. Another psychological phenomenon is pattern recognition. Humans are wired to recognize patterns, even where none exist. This is an evolutionary trait that helped our ancestors identify threats or opportunities in their environment. However, in modern contexts, it can lead us to draw conclusions that aren't grounded in reality. In the case of The Simpsons, the show's satirical nature, which often exaggerates or plays on current events, becomes fertile ground for pattern recognition. Viewers may subconsciously link everyday occurrences, like fires, political scandals, or technological advancements, to similar events in the show, even though the writers were not predicting them. The more we see these types of connections, the more likely we are to believe that the show has some kind of predictive power. This desire for predictions also taps into our cultural fascination with supernatural or prophetic powers. Humans have always been intrigued by the idea of foreseeing the future, whether through fortune-telling, omens, or other mystical methods. The Simpsons serves as a modern-day example of this belief. Its cultural impact and the way it mirrors real-world events fuel the fantasy that the show's creators might have some sort of special foresight. It's not just about The Simpsons, it's about a larger societal craving for explanations that feel magical or mysterious. Finally, the rise of social media has exacerbated the spread of these predictions. Memes and viral posts often amplify unlikely connections, with people eagerly sharing their interpretations of The Simpsons episodes as proof of predictions. The more a theory spreads, the more it gains credibility in the eyes of others, even if it's based on tenuous connections or outright misinterpretations. In the end, our psychology plays a significant role in how we interpret events like the Los Angeles fires in relation to The Simpsons. The combination of confirmation bias, pattern recognition, and our fascination with prophecy helps explain why we are so eager to believe that the show somehow foresaw these real-world disasters. The broader context of The Simpsons predictions. While the Los Angeles fire theory is one of the more recent claims, it is far from the first time The Simpsons has been credited with predicting the future. The show has developed a reputation over the years for seemingly foreshadowing major events, political, technological, and cultural. These predictions have led to widespread fascination with the idea that The Simpsons has an uncanny ability to foresee the future. But is this really the case, or is there more to the story? One of the most famous Simpsons predictions is its portrayal of Donald Trump's presidency. In the 2000 episode Bart to the Future, Lisa Simpson becomes president after Trump's term, which was eerily accurate in predicting the rise of Trump to the highest office in the land. While many saw this as a shocking prediction, it was, in fact, a satire of the political climate at the time, exaggerated for comedic effect. The Simpsons often portrays outlandish political scenarios, and the Trump presidency was simply another example of this type of satire. Another notable prediction was the early appearance of a smartwatch in the episode Lisa's Wedding, Season 6, Episode 19, which aired in 1995. In the episode, a futuristic version of Lisa Simpson uses a watch to make phone calls and access information, a clear precursor to the devices we now call smartwatches. While this moment was seen by some as a prediction, it was more about the show's tendency to imagine futuristic gadgets based on current technology trends, rather than a specific foresight into what would become popular. There are countless other instances where The Simpsons has seemingly predicted everything from the rise of video conferencing to the creation of FaceTime, the collapse of major corporations, and even the invention of the autocorrect feature. But when you break it down, these predictions aren't as supernatural as they seem. The writers of The Simpsons are extremely astute at observing current trends and extrapolating them into the future. This is a hallmark of the show's satirical style, exaggerating real-world events and trends to make a point or create humor. In fact, the writer's ability to reflect real-world issues through satire makes it easy for fans to connect the dots. The future is often a continuation of what is happening today, and because The Simpsons often mirrors the present, it makes sense that some of their jokes or plot lines appear to align with actual future events. These aren't predictions, they are exaggerations of ongoing societal and technological developments. When you consider the broader context of these predictions, it's clear that The Simpsons is not foreseeing the future in any mystical or prophetic way. Instead, it is simply a show that captures the spirit of the times and plays with the possibilities of what could happen next. So, while it might be fun to think of The Simpsons as having a crystal ball, the reality is far more grounded in satire and reflection of current trends. Examining the evidence. To fully debunk the claim that The Simpsons predicted the Los Angeles fires, it's essential to look at the actual evidence, or lack thereof. The theory that the show foresaw the fires in California is based largely on speculative interpretations of certain episodes and images circulating online. When we closely examine the facts, there is little substantial evidence to support this claim. First, the key episode often cited, Little Big Girl, Season 18, Episode 12, features a fire in Springfield, but there is no explicit mention of Los Angeles or any real-world wildfires. The fire in the episode is part of a fictional storyline meant to serve as a satirical comment on everyday life. The episode's fire is exaggerated for comedic effect, just like many other absurd events depicted throughout the series. The fact that it resembles a real-world fire does not equate to a prediction of a specific disaster. Moreover, many of the images shared online that claim to show The Simpsons predicting a burning Los Angeles are fabricated. These images are typically AI generated, not actual scenes from the show. They often feature blurry characters, unrealistic backgrounds, or elements that are not consistent with The Simpsons animation style. These digital creations fuel the rumor mill, but do not constitute legitimate evidence that the show predicted the Los Angeles fires. Expert fact-checking and analysis of the claims surrounding these supposed predictions also reveal that they are simply coincidences. As with many other instances of alleged predictions, the patterns people think they see are products of confirmation bias, where people interpret vague or coincidental events in the show and connect them to real-world events, even when the two are not linked. Ultimately, while it's entertaining to entertain the idea of The Simpsons predicting the future, the evidence for the Los Angeles fire prediction is unconvincing. It's a case of drawing patterns where none truly exist, and the fire in question is nothing more than a coincidental resemblance to a real-life tragedy. So, after diving deep into the claim that The Simpsons predicted the Los Angeles fires, we can clearly see that the evidence just doesn't hold up. While the show has undoubtedly predicted certain events in the past, like Donald Trump's presidency and the advent of smartwatches, these moments are more a reflection of the writer's sharp observations of current trends rather than any mystical foresight. The fire in the Little Big Girl episode, though it may seem eerily similar to real-life wildfires, is simply another satirical moment in a show built on exaggerated scenarios. And as for the viral images claiming to show The Simpsons predicting a burning Los Angeles, well, they're nothing more than AI-generated creations, not actual scenes from the show. It's a case of pattern recognition and confirmation bias at work, where fans connect dots that aren't really there. While it's fun to speculate about these supposed predictions, the truth is much simpler. The Simpsons is a satirical show that often mirrors real-world events, but it's not some kind of prophetic oracle. So next time you hear about the show predicting the future, remember that it's all about sharp writing, clever exaggeration, and a bit of coincidence. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more mind-blowing content. Until next time, stay curious.